On the occasion of Eid, India is mourning the cold-blooded murder of army soldier Aurangzeb, who was killed by terrorists in Pulwama in South Kashmir. His body has been brought to his native village. Last rites of rifleman Aurangzeb are being performed 2 days after his bullet-ridden body was found in Gusu village of Pulwama. Aurangzeb's distraught father has blamed Jammu and Kashmir politicians for the bloodshed in the valley and has vowed to avenge his son's death. Remember, Aurangzeb, who lived in Kashmir's Poonch district, was on leave and was going to his hometown for Eid when he was abducted in broad daylight from a civilian vehicle. My colleague Sunilji Bhatt now joins me from Aurangzeb's native village of Salani. He's on the phone line. Sunilji, tell us what's happening around you right now.
Well, Polani, currently people are paying their last respects. We can see the inconsolable family. They are trying to get the last glimpse before he is laid to rest. The entire village as well as the family is in mourning. They are in deep shock. And that too, this has come on a day when it should have been a festive mood in the family because it's a day of Eid, but it has turned out to be a black Eid for this village and this family. The mortal remains of the brave Jawan Aurangzeb reached here a short while back. Wrapped in the tricolor, the army Jawans brought the mortal remains to his native village, and right now people from the village and even from the nearby villages have gathered here, and they are paying their last respects. All the people in this village and in the nearby village are not celebrating Eid, and they are here to express solidarity with the bereaved family. They say that not just that family but the entire village has lost their son, brave son, who sacrificed his life for the cause of the nation, and the people here are proud of the sacrifice of their son, but at the same time they are angry over the fact that time and again it has been happening that the army Jawans and the personnel from the paramilitary forces are losing their lives because of terrorism, and they are demanding answers from the government as to how long this will keep happening, because now they are saying that enough is enough. They want a firm and strong action against Pakistan and the terrorists who are carrying out these brutal killings. Remember, Pakistan government of India had declared unilateral ceasefire during the holy month of Ramadan, and it was expected, the government of India expected that it will be reciprocated from the other side. But as many security analysts had felt at that time that it will prove to be disastrous, and exactly the same thing has happened. And
just on the phone line with us because Mr. M.M. Khajuria, former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, now joins us on the phone line. Mr. Khajuria, thank you so much for speaking to India today. We're seeing some very disturbing visuals, tragic visuals that are coming in from Salani village, Rifleman Aurangzeb's native village, where his mortal remains have now reached an inconsolable family trying to come to terms with this loss on the occasion of Eid today. But the question everyone, sir, asking on the ground is how long? How long will this go on, that we send our boys into the Indian Army but they come back in coffins? They are brave enough to say we will send more boys, but how long will this cycle of violence go on, sir?
I salute Aurangzeb, not only on my own behalf, but also on behalf of thousands of ex-policemen of this state. He has given the final sacrifice of his life, and the circumstances in which he has been tortured and killed prove that how steadfast he was to his loyalty to the country and to the force of which he was a part. We are sad but also proud. But the question is, how long, as you are said rightly, are we going to wrap up this dead bodies of young men into tricolors, pack them up and send them for disposal according to religious rites? The government has let down the security forces. The so-called ceasefire was predicted as a disaster. It has proved a disaster. I only hope somebody in Delhi learns the lesson, and before it's too late, we get the grip over this situation and ensure that more Aurangzebs don't fall martyred to the bullets of these groups from Pakistan and their agents, their local agents. This is a war which has taken too many tolls, and I think much of this would have been avoided. And this is a stage at which the government and the people of India must realize that there is a limit to which the sacrifices can be and should be given. And if the governments are not able to protect the interests of the country, its borders and its people, they have no business to be there.
You were saying that the decision to suspend operations during the month of Ramzan was a complete disaster, was a disastrous decision taken by the union government. But it's also about the people of Kashmir. They welcomed it. The government says it's also about winning the hearts and minds of the Kashmiri people. So where does one draw the balance? I get your point that, you know, it does unleash another cycle of terror where it's completely unprovoked because we're not the aggressors anymore. We're not doing any sort of search and seize operations which are otherwise done if operations are not suspended. But where does one find that middle ground, sir?
There is no middle ground in a war to finish. How long will we keep on forgetting that we are the aggrieved party? The aggressor is Pakistan and its agents. Basically, this must be the only history in the history of wars where a victim has declared unilateral ceasefire. Which amounts to what? It amounts to surrender. This country cannot afford to surrender. This country is too big for any politician to fiddle with its prestige in this manner and expose its security forces to avoidable harm and damage. There is no middle ground. There is a straightforward line ahead. We must get down to the task of eliminating these people who come from outside or inside, and simultaneously ensure that the battle on the ideological front is dying, and those people, peaceful people who want to spend their life comfortably, they are providing protection to do that. We have failed to do either of these things so far.
That's right. So you're saying that there is no middle ground that can be found in a situation which is almost like a warlike situation on the ground in Kashmir. We cannot allow for innocent lives to be lost constantly as a result of the government, of course, taking this decision. Arasan Singh, defense expert, also now joins us on the phone line. Mr. Singh, would you agree with the view which has just been expressed by Mr. Khajuria, former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, that ceasefire, suspension of operations is not feasible given the ground reality of Kashmir?
No, firstly, let me put the martyrdom of this brave Aurangzeb in historical and geographical context. I mean, the Pahadi Muslims, the Gujar Muslims have always been on the forefront. I mean, they are, you know, a very formidable tie of defense against Pakistan. They have proved it in 47, 48, and then in 1965 when Op Gibraltar was, you know, launched by Pakistan. So they are very hardworking, very, you know, they sweat, they really sweat for their earning, you know, because life is difficult on those higher mountain reaches. And because they sweat, they are loyal to the country and the society. Unlike these armchair jihadis, foreign-funded jihadis, you know, in Kashmir Valley, who have been gorging on the ladis, you know, provided by the Indian state. Now, having said so, I have heard a lot of, you know, comments about the physicality part of you know, the security. Of people, you know, residing in Kashmir. But let me tell you, more important than that is, and you will appreciate that ever since Pakistan was created, there has been an internecine war within Pakistan as to who is the true Muslim and who is not. And that unfortunately has been exported to Afghanistan and Kashmir as well. And we have not been able to do anything to, change the narrative. We have not challenged that narrative of, Pakistan. I ask you, have we done anything about it? Because the moment you speak such things, people will say, oh, you are not a secular person. Then they will say you are not an educated person. So therefore, we have been shying away. So it is an ideological war as well. And if you address the ideology, things will start falling in their place.
That's right. That's right. So you also spoke about the fact that, you also described where Aurangzeb comes from and why he showed the kind of bravery that he did. You must have seen his last picture when he was held in captivity. A video did the rounds as well. Of course, we do not want to sort of play the video because that's just stoking fires really and adding to the propaganda operations that these terrorists would want us to indulge in. But it just showed, the picture showed the kind of bravery that this guy had as he faced his captors, his killers eventually. He looked them in the eye, fearlessly answered their questions, and there was no sort of fear about the fact that he was staring into the eyes of certain death at that point of time, and such a young boy.
You have said it so well. You have said it so well. I couldn't have put it better. And I totally endorse what you have said. And this is again, I come back to the same point that there are some jihadis who feel that a Muslim cannot be an Indian, a Muslim cannot join Indian security forces, a Muslim cannot bring good name to the country. There is a constituency. And we have to crush this constituency, both ideologically and physically. And let me tell you, if you have the second largest Muslim population in the world and you don't address these things, which Afghanistan is already doing. Recently, they had a Loya Jirga of ulemas, 3,500 ulemas, and there was a similar Loya Jirga in Pakistan also about 5-6 months back, where they condemned violence and the suicide bombing. So I don't know, it had very little impact. Then there was a trilateral meeting in Indonesia between of these ulemas of Pakistan, Afghanistan and Indonesia. The president, Mr. Widodo himself, it was under his patronage. And now the next meeting is going to be held in Jeddah under the patronage of Prince Salman. And you, having second largest population in the world, you haven't done anything about it. So this is, if you don't address these problems, this internecine war, exported from Pakistan, who is a true Muslim and who is not, will go on and people will keep losing lives.
Colonel Arson Singh, Mr. M.M. Khajuria and Sunil Ji Bhatt, my colleague, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.